Thank you. Yes.
Still on 5 days.
I have 23 voting members present.
Thank you, and I resume the standing orders.
Alright, pay attention to me. First of all, I would like to remind you that the motion deadline, submission of the motion is today, 1959. So if you have a motion to submit, please contact us at the BC so we can give you the form if you want to submit the motion. Moving on, we move on to the External Relations Department, and we start off with report from Vice President of External Relations, which is Untitled.
Yanka BPR. Hello everyone. So since submitting my report, I have been in contact with the Alumni Coordinator on behalf of the Reception Committee of Autumn Assembly 2022 and DRC of 2023, and organized a meeting with DRC 2023 regarding the partners online, and had a further live discussion with Marina, the chairperson of RCA 2022. At the second team meeting, together with the whole executive, analyzed with the RC of AC21 the logistic information regarding the external speakers, and arranged the live meeting of EPSA executive with our main corporate partner at this congress, which just happened. Attended the OEM and trainers meetings. I wrote and submitted the final chairperson report of EPSA Summer University 2021 Slovakia. I also approached several alumni, former VPERs, Patrick, Paulina, and Nate, to have individual meetings for brainstorming the partnership strategies that might be implied in the future. I kept constant contact with the EPSA partners, mainly with internship providers, ASGP, Association of European Software Medication Industry, FPA, European Federation of Pharmaceutical Industries and Associations, Vaccines Europe, PGU, Pharmaceutical Group of European Union, regarding the contracts for the interns. I liaised together with Chloe, our VP EU, with PGU and Vaccines Europe, the collaboration on previously mentioned podcast. Flu vaccination campaign podcast, and attending the first part of the recording. I communicated with Biochem from Novartis and sent them a draft of the contract of the collaboration to them in order to sign it. I had several meetings concluded the collaboration with our officially new partner, and just signed the contract with the managing director of ECCRT, European Center of Clinical Trials Research, something like this, 2 days ago. And I had a meeting with BOI, BPA, and with EPSA, European Dental Students Association, discussing the collaboration, and also within EPSAS, the European Healthcare, sorry, I need to tell so that you understand, the Students Association Summit during this mandate, and discussed with the EPSAS the availabilities for the next meeting, and reviewed the EPSAS Memorandum of Understanding. I kept the constant communication with the IPSF, International Pharmaceutical Students Federation, representative attending this AC before and during the Congress. I also held a second department meeting before the start of the second team meeting, which I also attended. I was working on the preparation task for the General Assembly, attending all preparatory meetings, helped with the testing of the Eventbrite platform, joined the working group for the promotional strategy of EPSA events, shared another free webinar opportunities with the LSEs, and further follow up on their questions, on their matters. Last, together with Kaisha, our public health and social services coordinator, analyzed the communication with EPSA regarding the World AIDS Day campaign happening from 1st to the 3rd December, and got the contact with Audit from Drug Information Association, DIA, discussing the possibility of having chat with professionals with them. And last, the meeting together with Gabriela, our professional affairs coordinator, who followed up with Audit afterwards, wrote the POA, plan of action, of the representative fund for the visit of EBNMR, Executive Board and Member Representatives Meeting 2021 of the EPSA, European Federation of Psychology Students Associations, that I'm going to attend the next week in Malta as EPSA representative, and I delivered the partnership presentation during the last day to the LSEs, attending the trainers meetings before and during the AEC, prepared the training sessions for the AC, and tried to constantly support the other team members with the other tasks when needed.
Thank you, Yanka. Now we continue with comments and points. First, we have Anne Prost.
Theo and France. In your report, you said that you wanted to anticipate the promotion on internship before the election of the next board. Do you think that making sure that candidates are available for this internship should become a criterion for joining the EPSA team, or at least for certain positions, given the importance of this internship for EPSA?
Bianca, VPR, could you please rephrase the question and concrete the internship, because there have been several ones, so I'm not sure which one do you mean.
Theo and France. I just mean in general, EPSA internship is very important for EPSA. So do you think being sure that the future candidates are available for this internship should become a criterion to join the EPSA team, or at least for certain positions?
Yanka, VPR, I hope I understand now the question. Yes, I do believe that it's very important for us as EPSA and EPSA team to have representatives in Brussels, because it's crucial. We have there, let's say, our house, and we have there a lot of partners that we communicate with. However, the situation was very difficult for all of us throughout the past 2 years, and it was very difficult to find people who would be able to come, not be able to come to Brussels, but difficult to find out if it would be even possible. You can understand that we also are here and we didn't know 2 weeks before if we will join or not. So this was a very big factor of the uncertainty. However, we managed, despite all these things, secure 4 internships placements out of 7 that were negotiated, 6 plus 1, which we received during the mandate with the PGU. So we have now 2 interns in PGU working. We started the collaboration with Vaccines Europe, and we had a FPA as well. And yes, I think that it's important and should be part of the further mandates, because it supports the collaboration and it helps us a lot being able to have live projects and live meetings with the stakeholders in Brussels, because it makes us easier to collaborate with them on very different levels.
All right. Next on the speaking list we have PMPSD. Okay, drop. Moving on to PPSA Poland.
Michał, PPSA Poland. We just wanted to express our respect for the work you put to the report really were astonished by the professional graphs and all the required information from the portfolio, and just wanted to loudly appreciate it. Thank you.
Bianca VPR, thank you very much.
Okay, then we have after Romania.
Andrei, Fasper Romania. First of all, we would like to congratulate you as well for the very organized report and for all the work that you have done. We would like to ask you that the fact that you mentioned in your report the collaboration with the ECCRT. What benefits would this collaboration bring to EPSA and its students?
Bianca VPR, first let me elaborate on your first part. Yes, it was very hard for me to understand, because you can see that there are a lot of obligations, there are a lot of partners that EPSA needs and that EPSA wants to collaborate with because of creating more opportunities for our students and for our members. So it was kind of a way for me to understand and the way to make you understand better. So yeah, and I got the help with Ruben, my predecessor. And I thought that it would be more understandable, so yes. And to the second one, yes, we managed to sign the contract in the beginning of this week, on Tuesday or Monday. And we believe that it would be beneficial for EPSA because they are preparing the trainings of excellence for future healthcare professionals like pharmacists, and they are providing the trainings that can prepare future students or fresh graduates to the field of clinical research and also the regulatory affairs. And we feel that having this kind of partner on our side would be for a good. And they are also providing they are willing to provide some workshops and also are willing to participate at our job fairs that we have, and they are very open to also having the possibility to come to job fairs of the local associations. So anyone who would be interested, you are welcome to approach me and we can manage some communication. And last but not least, they are having a training or workshop this Saturday at 9. So if you would like to know more about the regulatory, how it works, what it has, you are also welcome to come.
Thank you.
I will be answering.
Next we have EPSA Slovakia.
Sarah, EPSA Slovakia. First of all, thanks for your report. We really appreciate your willingness to share with us as LSs so many webinars, so we can inform our association and students about opportunities to join them. So good luck, and we are proud of you because you are doing such a great work.
Bianca VPR, it's my pleasure. I sometimes feel that I'm spamming you too a lot, but it's like there are so many interesting things, and I mean, you can choose. It's just, if you don't like it, then you delete. If you like, you can share it. So.
Moving on to Audit Portugal.
Luciana of Portugal, thank you for your work and the report. Could you elaborate a bit more on the joint MOU that will cover all the associations belonging to ESSAS? Thank you.
Bianca, UPER, sure. So it has been a tradition to collaborate on some kind of level with our partner associations, especially those 3 or 4 mentioned, so medical students, dentistry students, psychology students, and also students of nurses, I mean. And we felt like all individual MOUs have been very similar, However, if you imagine if you have 4 different MOUs, you need to follow up all 4, and they are mostly the same. And usually we are doing it for 1 or 3 years. And if everyone is every MOU is lasts the different time, it's more difficult to catch up and follow up if it is still valid or not. And since we go through the same direction, I would say, in many projects, it helps us a lot to increase the credibility and visibility of EPSA, and also like the voice of students in general, the healthcare students, that we can advocate more to the Europe and to do greater things together. Because if there is only one voice, it's not so loud than if 4 voices are together. If you know what I mean.
Thank you so much, Janka. Next on the list, we have Shisa Slovenia.
Slovenia. So first, congrats for your work. In your report, you stated that EPSA applied to be association member of Erasmus Student Network. What are the main benefits of this membership? Thank you.
Janka?
Janka, VPR. Yes, I stated this. It was the discussion already in the previous Monday regarding the collaboration with ESN, if I got it correctly. The thing is that EPSA had before their own ways how to provide mobility opportunities for students, and we believe that collaborating with such a big partner or like big NGO as ESN has, with their traditions and with their knowledge and with their skills and resources, would be very beneficial for our students, because we as EPSA really support the mobility for our students, and we would like to have them as much opportunities as possible. And yeah, there can be the mutual collaboration and the knowledge transfer that can be used. And just to update you, we applied the 30th of September, and we are still waiting for the response, and there should be the General Assembly happening in the end of November, where we should run for being the members. So I will update you later.
Alright, thank you, Janka. Next on the speaking list, we have 2 new points from ANEF, then APF, then FASTPR, and we start off with the first new point of ANEF.
Theo and France. You said that you will attend to the EAHP Congress in Austria. Have you planned to contact the organization to maybe have a time to speak as EPSA representative, or at least present EPSA structures?
Janka, VPR. Yes, there have been a very beneficial, or let's say there have been a collaboration with EAHP. In the previous years as well, we even had the intern working there before, and this congress is very great opportunity for our students, not only students but young healthcare professionals, because they are very approachable, and we are collaborating with them on the different levels, and they approached us as EPSA to help them with the organization of the students' dinner in Vienna that will happen in parallel with the congress, which we discussed further, and also we talked with Marlene that I hope Austria can help us with that. I just didn't have time yet to really approach them and have a meeting with them, but I'm planning to do it soon, so that we can have that, because it can be very inspirational for students that come there to really have the opportunity to speak with those people, because many of you are maybe interested in hospital pharmacy or clinical pharmacy, and there you have really great opportunity to try to attend also their sessions, because there is, in parallel with this big congress, the students part, which I also shared with you guys before, so just check. I think registrations are open, so feel free to share this with the students, because many can be interested, and it's not. I mean, Vienna is very close, so you can. I hope it answers. Sorry.
Okay, with Tyra from Anne France.
Theo and France. So, do you think you will be part of a workshop, or will you be speaking during a session?
Bianca?
Bianca, VPR. If I have the opportunity, I would like to, but this is the decision that needs to be done by the executive, so we need to vote on it. And yeah, but I'm from Bratislava, so I don't have it far away. So.
Do we have a point of information from Jacek?
Yes, Mr. President. So in the past, when EPSA was invited to this congress, there also been EPSA booths among the partners, and it's also a way to present ourselves and what we do. And if I remember correctly, we've been offered this chance again for the one in Vienna next year.
Bianca with Barrett.
Bianca VPR, I confirm, yes, it was this booth, and I do one or two representatives of EPSA.
Now we have Anne France with their second point.
So in France, apart from the UFEPS internship offer, there were no other internship offers for EPSA students. We in the coming months invest in new opportunities now that the IMP have been dropped. Thank you.
Bianca VPR, I'm not sure if I got the question, but I think that I know what you mean. Yes, unfortunately the IMP project was dropped. We are trying to, at least I have it in my mind, to get to the structure how we can, I wouldn't say replace, because obviously there have been some reasons why the project was dropped that I still need to investigate, because I didn't have time, honestly, to get to that closer. However, I have been approached already by the representative of VIDA with internship opportunities. I'm sorry that I didn't share this before. I didn't have time to reply to him, and I need to get to him as soon as possible. We have scheduled the meeting like in 2.5 weeks, I think, to discuss this. But we still need to have the meeting with the PR department in order to investigate the possibilities how we will share these opportunities, because the previous version was not sustainable for us because it took too long time to update the stuff. So we are thinking about maybe involving LinkedIn or this kind of way. So maybe if you have some ideas how we can proceed this, I would be very helpful. It would be very helpful if you approach me anytime and we can discuss this. Thank you.
Alright, the last few points are from APEF Portugal and Chrysler Romania. First off, APEF Portugal.
Luciana APEF Portugal. So we just would like to know what will be the implications for EPSA to not secure interns for the internship providers or entities. Thank you.
Bianca?
Bianca, VPR, I'm sorry, but I don't understand the question.
Luciana APEF Portugal. We just would like to know if there is any implications for EPSA to not have members for the EPSA team to not go and do the internship that EPSA works with the internship entities or providers. So maybe this is more clear. Thank you.
Bianca?
Bianca, VPR. Let me rephrase it. So, if you are afraid that there would be some results of not having us, the interns, in the secured internships, right? Okay. Yeah, this was also my big struggle and fear, because we don't want to lose partners because of that. And having to know that the situation is how it was, I was trying to keep the constant contact with those internship providers. They knew and they know how the situation is. and we are still communicating and collaborating with them in other levels. They are also speakers here at this Congress, and I'm planning to have a follow-up meeting with them, and I appropriately apologize to them for not being able to have candidates according to their requirements. However, I must say that for each and every internship there has been at least one applicant that applied for this position, and I mean we are still students, so sometimes it happens, and I just cannot do anything more about that. But I will try to keep the internship providers for the next mandates, and also try to negotiate the other possibilities if possible.
Thank you, Janka. And now, Professor Romania.
Andrei, Faspre Romania. I would like to ask you if you have any recommendations or possible improvements for the mobility coordinator, since in that section of your report you wrote about chapter with professionals.
Janka, VPR. I'm sorry. Yes, it was. There was a lot going on at that period, and I was writing 2 reports at the same time, so I didn't have time to read it through many times since I was under a little bit of time pressure. So yeah, there is a. I would say that Ines is doing a really great job. First of all, because she managed to submit the Twinnet handbook, which can be very helpful for this project. I must say that those 2 girls are very, very, very independent. Sometimes I feel like, who am I, for what am I there? But yeah, sorry, it was my mistake.
Janka, are there any more comments or questions on the Assessment of External Relations report? I see none. Then thank you so much, Janka. Then we shall proceed to the next coordinator.
Hey, Ines, can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Alright, Ines, so what are we going to do first is we will wait for you to present your updates and submitting your second team report, and then we will ask the room for comments or questions on your report and on your activities. So, Ines, you may start.
Okay, thank you. Ines, Mobility Coordinator. So first, hey everyone. It's a bit strange not to see you. But first I'd like to say that I'm deeply sorry that I couldn't join you in person. And I would love to be with you and to feel also the French touch. And I hope you are having a lot of fun and especially fruitful discussions and learning with each other. So for my updates, since I have written my report, I have been working on the guidelines with all the safety measures related to Twinets organizations regarding the COVID-19 pandemic situation that we all know. I also started the templates for the Twinet coordinator certificates, and I changed the current recommendation letter template, and I also updated. I have also collected the ambassadors' contacts that were left and prepared the contact information to be sent. Actually, on my report, I mentioned that I would contact them by mail, but some of them I could just find the contact numbers. So I will try to contact them by WhatsApp, and then I will see if they answer or not. And if not, I will try to investigate another way to contact them. I kept also adding the new Twinet coordinators to the official channels and to liaise and help Twinet coordinators that are currently organizing Twinets and liaise between both Twinet coordinators. And I have also been delivering the participant certificates for the successful Twinets that were already finished. and I sent the coordinators an email regarding the Meet Me Fair and asked them to contact the LSs, and I guess even though I was not there, everything went smooth. So in general, for my updates, I think it's everything, and I hope I didn't forget anything. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ines. Now I'll ask the General Assembly to start the new point. We'll start with BPHD.
Carolyn, BPHD Germany. Hi Ines, thank you for your work and also for your report. I really appreciate also your ideas with the grants and also the support fund and also the collaboration you're planning with the grant coordinator on this, because financial support is always important for TwinNet because it can be expensive. And also I would welcome the idea of having some material for the promoting of TwinNet, because especially in Germany sometimes we're lacking of like TwinNet willing partners or cities. And I would just ask you, maybe we can do a little bit more meetings and hangouts, because I feel like in recent time we haven't done that a lot, and as TwinNet coordinator it's always nice to connect with people. Yeah, so no question from my side, but that's as a feedback. Thank you.
Ines Mobility Coordinator, thank you. The feedback is really, really highly appreciated. And yes, on my KPIs I already put more meetings and especially workshops, because I feel that the TwinNet coordinators are lacking a bit. So thank you for the feedback, and we will have it for sure.
Alright, thank you so much, Ines. Now we have APEC Portugal.
Luciana APEC Portugal. We just want to congratulate you, Ines, for the work that you've been developing so far and keeping up with the project, even if the timeline or situation isn't the best, and for keeping up and motivating the TwinNet coordinators also. So thank you.
Also, there is general agreement in the room. Then we move on to Anne-Frank.
Theo Anne-Frank, thank you for your hard work and your report, which was very complete and very clear. So, in your report, you say that you've contacted EPSA. What about relation with EMSA, given the several online TwinNet were conducted with them last year?
Ines Mobility Coordinator. So, because I'm not seeing you, so it's a bit hard sometimes to fully understand. So you were asking if there were a lot of interprofessional TwinNets organized between EMSA and EPSA. It was yeah. Okay, so yeah, last Monday, or since the interprofessional TwinNet with EMSA started, there were 13 proposed pairs to organize, and 12 were actually organized, and from the 12 TwinNets, 2 of them couldn't continue because EMSA TwinNet coordinators, they are not called TwinNet coordinators, but let's say this way, had some problems and couldn't manage, but the rest of it were organized, and everything and the feedback that I have was okay. So what I'm intending to do and what I said in my report is that now I want to collect feedback from the EMSA Mobility Coordinator and to see how we can boost the project a bit more before I start contacting other students' association. But yeah, the feedback was nice, and I think the TwinNet coordinators also want more opportunities of interprofessional TwinNets. Thank you.
Moving on to KMBSB.
Jason Campus, Netherlands. Firstly, I'd like to thank you and congratulate you on the work you have done and for the report. My question is, how can we assure the new generation of twin coordinators can deliver a good twin, considering some of, or most of them have not got the chance yet to go in twin? Do you think the handbook will be enough?
Could you please repeat the question a bit more clearly? We didn't understand.
How can we assure the new generation of twin coordinators can deliver a good twin, considering some or most have not had the chance yet to go to the twin list?
Sorry, can someone that is near the micro or the computer just repeat, because I'm not sure if it's my computer lagging or if it's the microphone, but I couldn't understand the whole question. So maybe not even rephrase it, it's just I couldn't listen, sorry.
Jessica, Netherlands. How can we assure the new generation of twin coordinators can deliver a good twin, considering some or most have not had a chance yet to go on a twin? Do you think the new handbook will be enough?
Can I ask? Okay, English Mobility Coordinator, I'm sorry, it's not, I couldn't really listen, so I'm so sorry that you have to repeat it so many times. Yes, I think that now with the handbook and now with the new guidelines and the adapt guidelines, I think even though they didn't have live twinnet experience, they have the online ones, some of them, and usually a new twinnet coordinator or most of the new twinnet coordinators, they haven't participated themselves even before the pandemic situation on a twinnet. So they always rely a lot on the mobility coordinator guidance and also on the guidelines. And since now we have a handbook, and I hope it will be approved tomorrow, and it's really complete, I believe. I guess the high quality twinets will be delivered, and I will be more than happy to help. And what I can do is always be available and also be available. And sometimes I have with the twinnet coordinators that request me to have individual meetings with them to try to explain the best way, because sometimes reading the guidelines can seem a bit abstract. So yeah, what I intend to do is keep having individual meeting with the ones that need, and I really believe that with the handbook, if it's approved tomorrow, and with the new guidelines, it will be okay and the quality won't be affected. And I really think it can be even boosted in comparison with the twinets that we had before. I hope so, at least. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ines. Moving on to the next point from Pastor Romania.
Andrei, for Romania. First of all, Ines, I would like to congratulate you on the twinnet handbook and on all the work until now. It's been a real pleasure to work with you. And I would like to ask you, what do you have in plan for the online activities with the twinnet coordinators?
Ines?
Oh, okay. Ines, Mobility Coordinator. So for the workshops, I really want to have a workshop about grants. So I will liaise with the grant coordinator to see how we can do it, and also to write guidelines with her maybe before, and then to have the workshop. I was also thinking about a workshop about the public health campaigns or science excursions, and then I really want to do more training sessions with you, because last mandate when I did a training about time management with the twinnet coordinators, the feedback was really positive, even though there were not many twinnet coordinators attending. But I guess it's because before there were not so many online activities, so maybe it's a bit strange for them to now have it. And before, the other mobility coordinators usually called the meetings hangouts, so it was more informal. So now I really want to separate the online activities between workshops and trainings, so formative or education sessions for the twinnet coordinators, the meetings, so we can discuss things related to twinnet, and then the hangouts. So the activities that I have planned is these workshops, and I will liaise with the rest of the team meeting, the EPSA team, and yeah, the meetings and the hangouts. and I guess I will do maybe 2 in 2 months. I guess it will be good, not also for the Twinet coordinators to be met with me to have every month a session, but yeah, I think it will be enough. But I will also ask them for feedback to see if they will be fine with it or not. Thank you.
There were some positive and some thumbs up in the room, so thank you so much, Ines. Next up, we have two last new points from Annette. First new point.
So, hi, Annette France. I wanted to ask you about the content of your individual meetings with the new Twinet coordinators. Thank you.
Ines?
Maybe I will wait because someone was typing, so I just could hear the typing. And not what the person said. Oh, okay. Okay. Can I go? Sorry, I'm a bit messy today. Sorry. Thank you. Image Mobility Coordinator. So usually the individual meetings with the new Twinet coordinators is to guide them and to present them the welcome package. So all the documents that are going to be there. I will also, as I mentioned in my report, write a list of the documents that we will have there, and maybe then I will use that list, that guideline, also on the individual meetings. So it's to better present the project, better present where they can find important information to organize Twinets, and also the contacts, and to give contacts of other EPSA team members that can help them. For example, the training coordinator, the PHSS, also the grant coordinator. So basically, it's an ice breaking for them to start to have a comfortable relation with me, and for them to know that they can contact me every time they need, and then to help them to go into the drive and to know where to find information. Because when I was a Twinet coordinator, the drive is sent and then maybe you can feel a bit lost, so where to start now? So I guess it's always good to have individual meetings at the beginning, and then individual meetings every time is needed or requested by a Twinet coordinator. Thank you, and I hope I answered.
Thank you so much, Ines. Now we have the second point from Annette France.
Theo, Annette France, you just said that you want to work with a grant coordinator for Twinet. Have you thought about including ESN in this discussion once the application will be accepted?
Ines?
You asked if I intend to add Erasmus Student Network
Yes.
to the online activity.
Theo, Annette France, for the grant workshop, we think that maybe it can be interesting to add a speaker from ESN as we apply to become an associate member of them. It can be interesting, we think.
Ines?
Yes, Image Mobility Coordinator. Yes, I think it could be useful, but well, since the General Assembly will be next November, we will start to see also with Bianca how we can collaborate with them. The previous mandate, I have some meetings with the Erasmus Student Network presidents, and we were discussing on how we could collaborate, and we didn't mention the Twinet. Well, we mentioned that we had the project, but not as a possible collaboration. But I will see what we can do, and if I do the grant workshop before we have a clear line of what we want to do and what Erasmus Student Network will also want to do with us, if needed, or if you feel the need, and I really think it could be interesting, we can do another session, for example, with the speaker, especially for the Erasmus Plus grant also. So yeah, I will thank you for your idea, and I will keep that in mind and see what we can do. But first, I guess it's more beneficial to have established a partnership with the Erasmus Student Network, and also to discuss it with Bianca. But thank you.
Thank you so much, Ines. Further comments or questions? I see none. So with this, I thank you, Ines, for participating.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Alright, now we start off first with your update since submitting your second team report.
Uh,
Yes, Gabriela?
Gabriel, Professional Affairs Coordinator. It's really weird talking to myself at the moment, like not looking at the camera. I hope guys. Congrats, France. I really wish I was with you too, but you're gonna enjoy it for me as well. Regarding my updates after the second team meeting report, is alongside with the PR department, we launched the open call for mentees. The deadline for the applications would be 14th of November, and I would kindly ask all the LSs in the group and everyone in the Congress just to promote open call to students, because the mentoring project is a unique experience, and if more people are aware of it to apply, it will be amazing. And the second update I would like to do is regarding chat with professionals. I had a meeting with one of our long-term partners, DIA, the Drug Information Association. I had a meeting with their representative to discuss the collaborations with regards to chat with professionals, and we decided to create EPSA Chat with Professionals, Dear Leaders of Tomorrow 2022. The event would happen in January 26th, and it will have 4 speakers, 2 seniors from DIA and 2 alumni from our part EPSA. And I think this would be from my updates in a brief summary. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. Now, General Assembly points. First of all, we have BPHD Germany.
Marie-Madeleine Vögel, BPHD Germany. Do you have any plans for a career week, also career week locals?
Yes, Gabriela?
Gabriel, Professional Affairs Coordinator. At the moment, I have no plans for Career Week, as Career Week is happening in March. So there's a long time until then. So I haven't planned at the moment anything.
Okay. Then we move on to SSVD.
Financial SSVD. You mentioned in your report that you were lacking guidelines for chats with professionals. Are you planning to write them? Thanks.
Yes, Gabriela?
Gabriel, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Yes, I'm planning to write guidelines for chat with professionals, as I believe this would help a lot the people who will be after me. And also, I would like not to repeat before that, not last year, but before. Sorry. Previous year's mistakes, because if there are guidelines, the mistakes would be there to learn from it. And for me, what happened is that I didn't know the mistakes from previous editions, so I maybe made a lot of them, and I just want to prevent that. So yes, I'm planning.
We have a direct from SSVD.
SSVD Slovenia. So, in which stage of writing them are you? I mean, what's the progress? Can you give us some updates? Thanks.
Gabriela?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear the question. Was it? I just couldn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Just in time, we will write down in the chat the question.
Corporate Professional Affairs Coordinator. The idea of writing the guidelines probably is going to be part of the update that is just now between the team, the second team meeting and the Congress. I decided that I'm so sorry about the noise. It's time to write them. So there isn't any progress. I think it's probably just decided this week, and hopefully before the next Congress they will be ready.
Okay, then we have a new point from Romania. Draft. PPSA Poland. Draft. PMPSD.
Jason, currently speaking Netherlands. First, thanks for the report. Second, the chat of professionals. Do you know why the number of participation was so low other than the promotion?
Corporate Professional Affairs Coordinator. I believe there were multiple factors involved in the low engagement with regards to the chat professionals in September. First of all, I think the promotion was not very good. Second of all, the organization of the event itself was kind of late. And also, there were some personal reasons between coordinators which also affected the event itself. That's why the next chapter professional since in January, the organization has started, and hopefully alongside with Dia and their marketing plan, I really hope so that the engagement will be much higher and we have a very successful event, because not only it will be good for us, but also doing it with an external partner, it can increase our visibility and maybe create some new opportunities.
First, we have a direct from BPHD Germany.
Carolyn, BPHD Germany. Yes, we really encourage you to promote the event more in advance, because it also makes a bad impression on the professionals if they are taking their time, their precious time, and then nobody of us is participating because no one has a chance to really plan around that. And furthermore, we would also appreciate if the chats with professionals would be more frequently, as it was before.
P1 France, we also didn't receive any mail about this event. We just received the information by Kasia in her mail about European Pharmacy Week. And we also think, as they said, that the event should be published earlier, even if you don't have all speakers, just to be aware of the event, and we will have the possibility to promote it more efficiently.
Gabriela, Professional Affairs Coordinator. I'm sorry, but I think there was kind of a noise, so I lost half of the question or the information. I'm sorry.
You missed the information from Anne Frank from the last one?
Yes.
All right. Could you please repeat?
Theo and France, we just say that we didn't receive any information about this event by mail, just in Kasia ones about European Pharmacy Week. And we also encourage you to promote the event earlier, even if you don't have all the speakers, just to be aware of the event, and we will have the possibility to promote it more efficiently.
Alright, and then we have a new point from Annette.
Theo and France, regarding the mentoring project, since there are more candidates than mentors, do you think it's possible to reach more mentors?
Gabriela?
Professional Affairs Coordinator. The number of the mentors has already been decided, and they have been approved at this point. The number is 27. Unfortunately, even if I had more applications to accept for mentors, doing the mentoring project as a single project from my point of view, my part, I'm sorry, it would be, I think, timely impossible to have much more mentors. If we say more than 30, because I have to follow up and look what each of the mentors, mentees, and their pairs do in the span of 6 months, which are coming in December. So if the project, probably the workload is separated between more people, yes, it will be feasible to have more mentors. But if the work is done by only one person, then no, I think the numbers we're doing now are good, and that's how much one person can do.
Alright. Next point on the speaking list are from APES and then BPHD Germany. First we have Portugal.
Luciana Pef, Portugal, thank you for your report and for being transparent. We just would like to know what are your future plans regarding the career page. Thank you.
Gabriela, Professional Affairs Coordinator. Regarding the career page, my plans are just to go through it and update the information if there's outdated information regarding different fields and professions. And I think that's it, and maybe we can also promote it on social media when we don't have a lot of campaigns going on through our social media campaigns to increase visibility. But I believe that's how much I can do about the career page on our website.
We have a direct first from BPHD Germany.
Marie-Madeleine Vögel, BPHD Germany. But today we were talking about the new website and that everything was reorganized by the IT coordinator, and I was wondering if you had any contact with the IT coordinator regarding the career page, because that could have been a great opportunity to maybe review the information, the current information.
First of all, we have a point of information from Freya IT Coordinator.
Federici, IT Coordinator. As I mentioned in my report, and now we are collecting basically all the updates that need to happen from the team, as well as it will happen for the LSs. So far we didn't have an opportunity to discuss that very analytically, though we will, of course, in order to also improve the content, not just add it.
Gabriela, did you understand the discussion, or was it okay? Yes, Gabriela?
Yeah, as much as I could, I think I got the main point of the discussion. I haven't had the conversation with our IT coordinator. However, this could be done in the future, and it's something to consider.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. Then we have a new point from BPHD Germany.
Marie-Madeleine Vögel, PhD Germany. So I was asking about Career Week, and have you thought about organizing the local edition, because students would be very interested?
Gabriela?
Like I said, regarding Career Week, I still haven't not thought but organized anything. It's a little bit. I'm sorry. Sorry. It's in the future. So at the moment I haven't thought, but as soon as I have ideas and plans, I will let you know. And yeah.
Okay, then I see no more direct. Then we have Bianca with a new point.
Bianca Vipier. Sorry, I just gotta go back to Theo because I didn't have time to react just very quickly. I would like to stress out that I'm very happy with the approach Gabriela took this year, because I have seen I have been overviewing the conversations that she had with her with the mentors that applied for this project, and I could have seen also external very great feedback from that, because she has replied individually to every and each mentor, and she was following the discussions with them, which took her, I can imagine, so much time, and the same approach she took also with the mentees. So thank you very much, Gabriela, for your work.
Are there any more comments or viewpoints on Gabriela's report? I see none. So I would like to thank Gabriela for joining us today in this session and for answering the questions. That being said, I think we are done with External Relations Department. Thank you all for your input and for your comments. And I guess we can proceed to the Internal Affairs Department. And we start off with Vice President of Internal Affairs, Carolina Bodi.
Carolina, VPAA. So I have planned and hosted the LS Day, kept the members informed about preparation for AC, hosted a new LS training, joined the GA preparation meeting, joined and assisted the president for the team meeting, and I organized and hosted the LS Day.
Thank you, Carolina. You can start off with viewpoints or comments on Carolina's Anne France.
Theo and France, can you give us an update about individual membership? For example, how many there are, how are they involved, how is the communication, etc.
Carolina, VPAA. I cannot give you the exact numbers because I don't have them, but I do get around 5 to 10 applications per month. Most of them are invalid because the people who are applying are represented by an association, and if they do, I always send them an email and I CC the LS so they are aware that they already have association that represents them. So some of you have gotten an email like that from me before. For now, we have one new individual member. She joined us last month.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the speaking list, we have Alfred Portugal.
Luciana Alfred Portugal, thank you for your report and for assigning buddies. We just would like to know what has improved or changed regarding the buddy project. Thank you.
Carolina, VPAA. As a general information, I have decided to change the buddy project because for the last two mandate, it wasn't really delivering. And a lot of people from past teams had commented that they just didn't want to participate in the project because they felt like they had too much to do, or like it was hard for them more on a personal way. So I think the improvement here is that it's voluntarily, and it will be a smaller group for me to manage, and I can actually follow up with people because I have not even 10 groups, I think, of buddies, and I can follow up on every one and each of them and actually gather some interesting feedback.
Thank you so much. Fast and very with any point.
Andrei, fast for Romania. So I would like to ask you if you have any new ideas about how to make member associations more enthusiastic about EMMO.
Karina VTA. So I have not had the time to go into EMMO. For now, I'm having the new LS trainings, and I'm trying to teach the LSs or have them on the same page when they're starting, so I can see what everyone knows. But for now, we are getting a lot of invitations on our own, so I don't think I need to promote them for now. As right now, I think we had 4 invitations from our members to deliver a presentation or have some kind of meeting with EPSA.
Next we have Advocacy.
Elena, as of Switzerland, we were just wondering why exactly you want to try to have several LSs for the new LS training.
Carolina?
Carolina, VPIA. So usually when a new LS comes, there are 2 or 3 that change in the same time because that's the mandate when they end. And I try to schedule them together because it's more efficient on my side. It's less time to deliver one presentation for 3 people than having 3 presentations for each single one of them. And I also think it's very beneficial for them because they can meet a fellow LS, and maybe that LS will have a question that didn't occur to the first one. So I do think it's beneficial. If some of you had a new LS training and think it was not beneficial to have it with someone else, I'm open to feedback. I can go for single LS for new LS training. It's really okay. So if you think that's not good, I can also change it.
Thank you, Carolina. Next we have Tere.
Andrei, first for Romania, I would like to ask you if you have any new interactive ideas on how to make NGC so that EPSA team positions are more attractive for students.
Carolina VPIA, I have not yet thought about it. We are we have talked about it internally, but on a very low profile level. It has just been a mention here and there. For sure, it will have to be an effort of the whole team. So I will try to bring it up around 30 meeting because then we can actually start preparing for it.
Moving on to EPSA Poland.
Piotr, EPSA Poland. On behalf of EPSA, we would like to congratulate on your all work in EPSA this mandate, and we are really proud to see how you grow as a person and as a professional in EPSA.
Alright, and PSV.
Jason, PSV Netherlands. I will first want to thank you for your report and your good work for now. Could you elaborate a little bit more on the next generation chat? What topics are going to be covered? I don't fully understand what this is.
Carolina VPA, it was just the thing that I responded about before. So new generation chats are chats with the team for people who are interested to join the EPSA for the next mandate. And they happened before the election, so it's a big online campaign. As I answered to Romania, I have not yet thought about it.
Next on the speaking list, we have 2 points from Audit and then after Portugal. Audit, with your first 2 points.
Theo and France, we just wanted to say a little remark concerning your report. You stated that no presentation of EPSA have been made, but actually 2 EPSA representatives came in EPSA General Assembly at the end of September to present EPSA. That's all.
Carolina VPA, that's very true. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Alright, then we should proceed to the second point for Audit. Draw. Then we have after Portugal.
Luciana of Portugal. So we just would like to know why you consider it is best for IPSF to be on charge on double HSS, and if you have any updates regarding this topic. Thank you.
Carolina VPIA. So The reason is because nothing is going on there. The last update that we got from them was February, and it's for many mandates now. It has not been delivering from our side. We usually have been taking the lead on the project, and as it's World Health Student Symposium. I think it would be best for IPSF to take it.
Thank you. Next we have a new point from APO.
I'm out of Austria. First of all, I want to thank you for your great work, and we're happy with you. And so my question concerns, do you plan to approach or at least investigate if there are associations in the last 2 or 3 European countries that are not yet in EPSA? I'm excluding Albania here since we just voted them out, so you don't have to investigate that.
Carolina, I have not thought about it because I am not aware of any other student association that we might know. So if you know about any student association from a country that we don't yet represent, please let me know. I'll be happy to investigate.
Last but not least, APSD.
Jason Kemp, Sweden, Netherlands. About the ordinary membership application email. Why was it sent so late? It would be quite impossible for an association to get all the necessary documents in so little time.
Could you repeat, please?
You sent us a mail to apply for the ordinary membership, and this was sent quite late. Deadline was like 2 or 3 days later. Why was it sent so late?
Karina PK, it was sent late because we have been approached by Ukraine, and only then I remember I have to send that email. So that's why it came so late. And I'm very sorry for that.
Hi, with the direct.
Mihai PP, it is very rare that you have a member deciding to apply for ordinary membership and actually apply in the month or 2. Like the past few ordinary membership applications I remember are coming in with at least 6 months before you have a GA passing, and then only after they apply. It takes a lot of time to prepare everything, so 1 month would change absolutely nothing.
Alright, thank you. And then we have Carolina with a new point.
Carolina PK, I just wanted to thank all of you for all your questions and engagement in the DA. It's really great to see, and thank you for it because it shows us that our work is not passed by. So thank you all.
Thank you so much for your questions. Moving on to my Pausa Danileira, Alumni Coordinator.
Mayada, can you hear us? Mayada?
Did she talk? Then I would like to ask you to present your updates in submitting your second team report. Technical from Frank.
Frederici, IT Coordinator. Maybe you need to speak up louder if she's listening from a live stream. You cannot be heard that well here.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm Alumni Coordinator. I will have to apologize. I'm sorry, I'm a bit sick. Since I submitted my report, I've been overviewing the alumni weekend for the AC. I've been coordinating the alumni coming and the alumni following online, and I've been finalizing details for the live chat with professionals happening at week. That's many bits.
Thank you so much, Maeva. Steve, do we have any new points or comments? First, we have Annette France.
So, Annette France, first of all, Annette France wants to thank you for your great work. We're so proud of you. About the alumni platform, have you considered preparing a poster mentioning all the functions and advantages in order to encourage alumni to register? Thank you.
My Alumni Coordinator, I don't have any set plans yet as I still don't have like the platform established. But once it will be done, I will, yes, I will spread it more among the alumni to get feedback and so on, and then promote it when we have something concrete for them.
Thank you, Maeva. Next, we have Tasefere.
Andrei, Fast for Romania. You stated in your report that the alumni platform used before will be replaced with a new one. Could you please maybe explain the reasons behind this?
My Alumni Coordinator, as you might know, the alumni platform was linked to the website. But then with all the struggle that we had with the website, we decided to go with an external company and then to have the website on a different platform to make sure that we don't encounter same problem as in the past, and also to maybe ease the work of the IT coordinator who would not have to also work on all these platforms. I hope I was clear. Thank you.
It was clear. But then we have the second new point from Tasefere.
Andrei, Fast for Romania. So you also stated in your report that you decided to create some section in the alumni newsletter to keep the alumni updated on different matters. I would like to ask you what matters will you focus on so that the alumni are engaged?
Technical, you still have to open. Could you open the door, please? Thank you. Maeva?
My alumni coordinator, what the feedback that I got from the alumni was that they were not really informed of big changes or things that were happening in EPSA. So for the different sections, I wanted to try to overview main discussion happening among EPSA between the executive, the team, and the members, and also any interesting news that they would like to be informed about. So this section will try to cover those points.
Okay. Then we have a new point from EPSA Poland. Drop. Any comments or questions? Tasefere Romania?
Lastly, I would like to ask you if you have any alumni activities in mind.
Name and position.
Andrei Fast for Romania, sorry. If I would like to ask you if you have any alumni activities in mind for the upcoming months.
My alumni coordinator, for now, not really. I'm firstly quite happy to be able to have a live alumni weekend to start with, and then I think after that I will also, while also being in contact with alumni, I can also assess better which type of activities they would like in the upcoming months. Also regarding how the mandate will evolve and what will be decided with the team, we can think of other live activities for them.
Okay. Any new questions or comments? I see none, so I would like to thank you, Maiva, for joining us today. And then we shall move on to Kathy Zeman, next coordinator. I would say gracias a Dios. Sure. Yeah. Yes, Kathy?
Sorry. Kathy, Events Coordinator. Since writing the report, I've attended several meetings with the RC for AC21. I've attended several meetings with potential RCs from upcoming events. I followed up with the associations who mentioned being interested in organizing an event. I've answered all of the questions I received regarding organizing events. I attended several online executive meetings. I gave a presentation on the first attendees meeting. I gave a presentation to the LSs during LS Day. I prepared the auction and the raffle. I contacted the ODs to bring some for the auction and the raffle. And I shared the form with the LSs for the International Live playlist, shared a promotion or worked on a promotional video for EPSA events, assisted the RC whenever needed, had several chats with the LSs during AC21 regarding organizing events, and I plan to have some during the week.
Thank you so much, Kathy. First, we have Anne France.
Theo and France. Do you have any concrete backup plan for the organization of the AC 2022 if no member organization applies for? And if yes, can you briefly explain it?
Have a point of information from Carolina.
Carolina VPIA, so as you know, we as executive are now mandated to host the General Assembly because no one applied within the deadline. So we internally...
It's appoint a host and not to host. It's just the difference in the regulation.
Okay, we would have to appoint the host as stated by the regulation. Thank you very much, PC. Just so everyone is on the same page.
Kathy, Events Coordinator. No, there's no concrete answer yet.
Next, we have KMPSB.
Jason Kempis, Netherlands. Thank you for your work and your report. We are very proud of you as the KMPSB. You did gave us a lot of Google Forms to fill in, which is great, but wouldn't it make the total of applications or fillings of the LSs a little bit less? I mean, we've got a lot of forms from you. I lost the overview of what I needed to fill in, what I already had filled in. Do you also experience the same? Or other LSs?
Kathy. Some thumbs down in the room.
Kathy, Events Coordinator. I think I've only have 2 forms, one regarding the organization of the auction and one on the investigation of the lack of bids. So I don't think 2 forms in the mandate is that much. I did have a lot of emails to all of you, or to all of the LSs regarding organizing events. That was quite a lot, but to get answers I needed to send several emails. So I don't think it was that big or that too many forms.
to ANEP France. When have you planned exactly to investigate on the shared folder of member organization events? As we think it will be a really good idea and it will be very interesting and useful for us.
Kathy, Events Coordinator. During the LS Day, we discussed it with the LSs, and I plan to send an email to follow up after RC.
Firstly, thanks for your work. What are the findings from your investigation about the lack of interest for the EPSA events organization? Thanks.
Kathy, Events Coordinator. Many associations stated that they don't think that the students are aware, so that's an issue I want to improve during the mandate. I briefly explained it during the updates. I'm going to make a promotional video about EPSA events, so not specifically like AC21, but a video highlighting, for example, what the RC is doing on the background, what they are doing behind the scenes, what the helping team is doing, and kind of what you can gain as an association by organizing events, just to highlight the possibility to organize them. I plan to release it to the LSs and then they can share it with the members. Just to create like awareness. During the event I also talked to a lot of members to kind of explain them that they can organize events.
Are they concerned about the, let's say, health issues because of pandemic? Is this one of their concerns or not anymore?
Kathy, Events Coordinator. For now, there are some associations that stated the reason they do not want to apply is because we're still too close to the pandemic. They said that as healthcare professionals, they don't want to be like connected to organizing live events now. And they just told me that they might be interested in a couple of years. But I think it was just one or two associations who mentioned that specifically. So not overall, we're not that many.
Marie-Madeleine Truebit, BPHD Germany. So there was this survey on the auctions and how does the current auction concept deviate from former ones at the AC21? Anything change, any improvement or any feedback so far?
Kathy, Events Coordinator. I did receive quite some answers from LSs and team, but most of them stated like ideas that were already implemented. So for example, many said share the items beforehand. The items will be shared over social media today, like pictures so that people know that auction is going to take place. It would post it in the participants group that it would take place, and basically everything said was already planned to do.
Any other comments or questions? Portugal.
Luciana Abel, Portugal. So on behalf of APEF, we just want to congratulate your work. We know it is difficult for members to apply and to host association, and because we are in a pandemic situation. But you keep on going and contact us, and you are highly motivated. So keep on going throughout the rest of the mandate and keep going with your good work. Thank you.
Kathy?
Thank you. Kathy, Events Coordinator. Thank you all for the nice words and the thumbs up.
Any other comments or questions? If not, then I would like to thank Kathy for being with us and answering all the questions. And thank you all for your input. Then we move on to the next report, and I would like to offer Gabriel information.
Gabriel, parliamentarian. I just wanted to say that we did not receive the Autumn Assembly report from Blockade on the EPSA General Assembly, the Chairperson of the Reception Committee of the 43rd Annual Congress, and as mandated by Article 8.2.2.4 of TORS of the Terms of Reference, the Autumn Assembly reports and Annual Congress reports of EPSA team members that are not submitted according to this article shall lie on the table until the next EPSA General Assembly. already passed, but yeah. So it will be voted upon in next General Assembly according to the regulations.
Any comments or questions on this part? Alright, then we shall proceed to the European Affairs Department, starting off with Vice President of European Affairs, Louis Legault.
Hello everyone. So since I submitted my report, I took part as a speaker in the Mental Health Europe event on Mental Health Day, as well as the Mental Health Project in collaboration with the European Student Union. I also worked on post and promotion of the Mental Health report during Mental Health Day. I published a position paper on mental health and worked on the press release with Fatimata, Policy Coordinator. I did a presentation on advocacy to GPSF members with Jorn. I took part as a speaker in a roundtable on rare diseases concerning the French presidency of the EU, as well as at the European Patients Forum during a panel discussion on digital skills. I attended the Oath to Society launch event in Brussels. I presented the Vaccination and Curricula Survey report during the Coalition for Vaccination autumn meeting. I hosted the second APR meeting with Jorn. I attended a meeting with EPSA and Yanka. I liaised with SS associations in order to organize the next SS meeting. I attended the second team meeting in Lyon, held 2 workshops on mental health and social media influencing during the annual congress, as well as moderated 2 panel discussions on pharmacist delivered vaccination.
That being said, let the questions start. First we have Anne France.
Theo, Anne France, first we would like to congratulate you for your amazing work and all your effort. ANEF is more than proud of you and your engagement keeps shining. Our question is, may we have a feedback on the validity of policies document released in October?
Chloe? Clarification from Chloe. Chloe, VA, the what?
Can you, Theo, Anne France, can you give us a feedback of the policies paper released in October?
Chloe, VPEA. Well, the position, for now we've released the press releases barely a week ago, so right after the press releases we got feedback from PGU, who asked us to present our position papers during their meetings with members, and they also shared their position papers with their members via email. It also got great feedback from Mental Health Europe, which is the stakeholder which we collaborated with for the survey. And other than that, we're planning on establishing a strategy with Joseph in order to send it to relevant policy makers, so we would have more feedback afterwards.
Thank you. Next we have EPSA Poland.
Piotr, PPSA Poland. So last mandate it was decided to form a new position within the department, the Advocacy Platform Coordinator, to decrease the workload of PPA and policy coordinator. How would you evaluate that change so far?
Chloe?
Chloe, VPEA. Well, it's definitely helping, mostly considering all the administrative work there is when you are managing a platform. I mean, like sending emails, the Google Forms, the minuting. This is definitely a lot of work that I don't have to do. And there's also, it's great to be 2 people in order to manage members, because we're able to brainstorm a lot. And I think the fact that Jorn and I are working together helps us come up with new ideas for members. So I definitely think it was a great idea.
Thank you so much. Now we have Abel Portugal.
Portugal, is anything being done to make policy collaborations with IPSF as you suggested in your report?
Chloe?
Chloe, the PEA. I definitely want to. We haven't started because they are just changing mandates, but it is definitely a plan that we want to do. When I discussed with Vedran, the past chairperson of IPSF Europe, we agreed that it would be great to share what we're currently working on, so we could maybe do similar work on similar topics, so it wouldn't be double the work and less impact. So I think yes, we will be doing.
Alright, thank you so much. Any new other comments or questions? EPSA Poland.
EPSA Poland. In your report, you have mentioned that the advocacy strategy will be shared with the alumni in the team. Do you plan to also share it with APRs or discuss it during the advocacy platform meeting?
Chloe, PEA, yes, definitely. We've asked a couple of questions, but as APRs told us, it would be better to give the documents and then get feedback. So yes, this is definitely a plan. But also, in the beginning, I wanted to have the advocacy strategy done by September so we could it be used. But turns out, I mean, since it's putting it in place from the beginning, I think it will take a lot more time. And I think it would be good to do it well, so it might take longer for it to come out, I think.
Thank you. Now we have up with Portugal.
Luciana of Portugal, thank you for your work. You did not mention the methodology booklet in your report, so have you discussed already any strategy with the educational department or PR department to further promote the methodology booklet and reach stakeholders and students? Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe, PEA. Yes, I didn't mention it because the methodology booklet is done, and I think the next step is incorporating it into position papers, and more specifically the white paper on skills, and so it is mostly under the portfolio of Fatimata. But we definitely discussed it together, the whole department, as it will involve APRs and policy as well. And we also discussed during team meeting collaborations between the Edu department and the EA department on the whole strategy. But as I said, I mean, it's a big portfolio, and there's a lot of steps before getting to the advocacy part. So this is why I didn't mention it specifically in the report.
Thank you so much, Chloe. Other new points? Anne France?
Theo, Annette France. Have the advocacy goals related to events such as Coalition for Vaccination or Mental Health Platform has been reached, and is there any area for improvement?
Chloe, PEA. Well, the way I see it, those stakeholder networks are more for long-term impact. So we're definitely actively working on it, especially the Coalition for Vaccination. And we have direct contact with policymakers, and we've been reviewing the curricula in detail. So I think it will definitely have impact. But we cannot know immediately. It will take time to see.
Thank you so much, Chloe. Comments? Okay, we have EPSA International Turkey.
İlgin EPSA International Turkey. First of all, thank you for your report, Chloe. And I was wondering, what time do you plan to update the APRs?
Chloe, PEA. This is something that Joran discussed, I think, in his report. We have had some troubles with the Google group. And also, the survey we sent out to APRs at the beginning of the year has been filled by not too many APRs, so we're missing a lot of info. But Jorn has been working on it, and we plan on updating everything right after AC.
Thank you so much. Any more comments or questions? I see none, so I'd like to thank you, Chloe. And then we move on to Grant Coordinator. Elisa van Hees Groningen.
Since my report, I've been mainly working on the workshop about grants that I will be delivering on Saturday to increase the knowledge transfer surrounding grants. Thereby, I have planned 2 meetings, one with the treasurer of EPSA, the European Dental Students Association. She reached out to me to know more about grants and how EPSA manages to secure them. The other meeting I have planned with GPSF, the Greek Pharmaceutical Students Federation. They too reached out to me to help them find grants for the 19th Autumn Assembly and for the Twinnet. Speaking of the Twinnet project, to further increase the knowledge around grants, I've started thinking of preparing a workshop specifically tailored for Twinnet coordinators to help them find grants for the Twinnet project easier. And for that, I plan to collaborate with our mobility coordinator, Ines. Furthermore, since my report, me and Chloe Leppels, DPEA, decided to apply for another award besides the award mentioned in my report. And this one is called the EU for Health Award for alleviating the mental health impact of COVID-19, for which we fit all the requirements to apply. And lastly, I attended most of the second team meeting before the Congress.
Thank you so much, Elisa. Have a new point from KNTSB.
Jason Campus, Speed Netherlands. On behalf of the association, we would like to say we are very proud of you. You've picked the task up very fast, and you've done a lot of things already. So keep it up.
Thank you. Then we have Annette France.
So Annette France, regarding the EYT grant and the fact that the duration would be for 2 years, don't you think that with a clear handover and guidelines, it would increase EPSA's application chance?
Elisa, Grant Coordinator. Yes, I was really thinking about if it was feasible or not, but it's not the only point. It's also that you have to have a lot of partnerships that you have to maintain for a long period of time. So I think that would just be too unrealistic, to be honest, and I think we have better opportunities for other kind of grants. So that's why I thought that we should stop investigating this grant, because it's been going on for a long period of time and we never reach conclusions about if it is feasible or not. So that's why I decided not to.
Next we have a new point from
Slovenia. So, what did you discover from Erasmus Plus agency feedback that you have studied? Thanks.
Clarification?
Elisa, Grant Coordinator, could you please repeat that question?
Yeah, Klemenčius with Slovenia. What did you discover from Erasmus Plus agency feedback that you have discovered? You stated in your report that you have studied the feedback from previous years. So what was your conclusion? Thanks.
Elisa, Grant Coordinator. I started investigating the recommendations that past grant coordinators have collected, but it's very specific. There are very specific details surrounding the grant application, so it's not very general things that I can say now. But what the main message was that we should add more advocacy into our grant application. Because that's very important. But I am planning, because the grant call has been opened, to ask the agency again for a feedback or a meeting to discuss the grant applications in detail and to basically ask them if they can comment on anything.
Just a small note on the hand signs when you want to reply to someone who pointed.
Sorry.
Thank you. All right. Any more comments or questions? PhD Germany.
Marina Winfrey with PhD Germany. You also mentioned an email with the collected grant investigation to the LSs. When can we expect that email?
No.
You were talking about grant investigation.
I was talking. Elisa, Grant Coordinator. I was talking about a spreadsheet that I wanted to make that I wanted to continue, because a predecessor of mine made a spreadsheet of all the grant investigations that all the previous grant coordinators have made, and I'm planning to share that one once it is organized and once I have checked everything. So I cannot really give you a specific date when it will be, but I plan to do it as soon as possible.
Other comments or questions? I see none, so thank you, Elisa, for showing us the updates and answering the questions. Next, we have our policy coordinator, Fatoumata Ramadana Gomez.
Fatoumata, policy coordinator. So since the time I submitted my report, together with Chloe, VPA, we finished the position paper on mental health, and we also we released that paper and we promoted on EPSA social media, and we also sent to the stakeholders. I also work on the abstract and the press release to promote that same position paper. Now I'm planning the next public consultation on the topic revision of the European Union General Pharmaceutical Legislation, on which I will be working together with Chloe, VPA, Joseph present, and Andrea VPD. I'm also planning on involving the APRs in the public consultation. I also attended the second EPSA team meeting and attended the APRs meeting during the AC. Finally, I delivered a workshop on how to write an advocacy document.
Theo and France, thanks a lot for your report. As you say, being behind your goal in your KPI, how do you plan on participating to more public consultations?
Fatoumata, policy coordinator. So Chloe, she gathered the Excel document with all the relevant public consultations. Now we are always following and adding on new public consultations that we consider relevant. But now this is the one that we prioritize, so I'll be engaging on this one, and will be how I'll be managing it forward.
Thank you so much. Okay, direct from up in Portugal.
Luciana P. Portugal. In your third KPI, you say that you want to participate in 75% of public consultations. So, how are you going to measure this KPI? Thank you.
Fatoumata, policy coordinator. So that it was very hard to write that KPI, and it's very hard to measure as well because it's very. I mean, there's not like a number that I can say it's like 100, but from what we've been gathering until now, in the end we'll just figure it out because we have been adding all the public consultations in that Excel. In the end, I just have to figure it out how many of those we engaged.
See no more direct. Then up in Portugal with a new point.
Luciana P. Portugal. We would like to know your plans or ideas regarding the policy toolkit and in what this will differ from the IPSF's toolkit. Thank you.
Fatoumata, policy coordinator. So, as I stated, I answered Ash's question about it. So, I plan to start working on the policy toolkit in January because from now I'll be prioritizing other work from my portfolio. Basically my idea, but I'm still deciding and discussing it with the team. But basically, I will just plan a timeline and I make a proposal. For now, I have an idea on how I would plan to engage on that way to differentiate from IPSF ones. Basically, instead of just making a very general policy toolkit, I'll just be making a policy toolkit on a specific advocacy topic. So that would be one edition, and the next editions, the idea is that you create policy toolkits just specifically on specific advocacy aspects. So in the topics that I would be engaging, I haven't decided yet, but basically that it would be like very related to the priorities that we established for this Monday.
Next on the speaking list we have Felicitare, Anne France, and Shisabada. Felicitare.
Andrei, fast for Romania. You stated in your report that the deadlines for the policy newsletter were not really respected. We would like to ask you, how will you make sure that they are respected in the future, since you had the problems with the collaboration with the PR department?
Fatmata Policy Coordinator, yes, I think that was just an exception because it was like in a moment of transition of the team. So I think in future my strategy will be just to keep following up. But I really believe that it was just because it was still in the phase of transition of the team.
Thank you. Then we have Anne France.
So Anne France, regarding to European Affairs Wednesday, do you have any plans to get more involved in publishing them?
Fatmata Policy Coordinator, yes, so far I was not able to engage that much, but in future I already discussed it with Chloe, VPA, and really we planned this before, but now I'll just put it in practice.
Thank you. Any more comments or questions? After Portugal.
Luciana of Portugal. We just would like to know if you discussed with the other department a possible update on the professional qualifications directive. Thank you.
Fatmata Policy Coordinator, yes, I mentioned that on my POA. So yeah, this is something that I also discussed with Chloe. We are thinking about that, but for now it's not the priority because we have for now the white paper on skills, and I believe that we have to work in one policy document at a time. So for now this is a priority. Then we also have the survey that was making about the internship payment. So that probably would be the next focus in terms of advocacy documents.
Chloe, VPA. Yeah, just to clarify, PQG is actually a portfolio that has been treated in the past, and it's an ongoing thing that will just last a couple of time. Like the position paper has been done with EHP and PGU and other partners. Now we're just everything has been submitted. We're just waiting for feedback and to see if it has actually been implemented into the regulations.
Andrei, first for Romania. So you stated that you started working in your report that you started working on a mental health documentary that will involve the entire EA department, and now you just said that you will involve the APRs as well. We would like to ask you how the documentary would look like overall.
Not a policy coordinator, so we just brainstormed this idea in a department meeting that we had. Basically, we are planning to make this documentary based on the different fields of pharmacist action. So it would be focusing on hospital pharmacists, community pharmacists, and just trying to give an overview on how we as pharmacists act on mental health, and also give some good practices on that. But this is just a rough idea. We're still brainstorming of it, and we'll still be planning it tomorrow.
Thank you. Chloe, to the direct.
Chloe, VPA. Sorry, just to complete what Fatmata just said. This is something that Jorn and myself will be sending to APRs. We will have a detailed email, and we can go into details later if you want during social time. But you'll get all the information soon.
Thank you. Any more comments or questions regarding policy coordinators report? I see none, so I'd like to thank Automata. And now we move on to Advocacy Platform Coordinator. I would like to invite George Ruben in the front. Oh, Joseph, the new point.
Yes, President, I would like to ask the official delegates if, because there's 3 minutes left of the session, if they would like to proceed over the break, or they would like to take a break now, as it is planned for the half an hour, and we would take one after. You want to? Yes. Yeah. In that case, I would like to ask Marlene to perform the roll call.
Okay, I have Afak Austria, BPSO Belgium, Success Cyprus, CCPSA Czech Republic, SOP Denmark, ANAP France, PPHD Germany, GPSF Greece, LPSA Latvia, SFD Lithuania, FIPSA Finland delegated to SFD Lithuania, KDOT and LPDOT SDOT the Netherlands, NAPSO Norway, SNAP Sweden delegated to NAPSO Norway, PPSA Poland, APEC Portugal, FASTA Romania, SPSO Slovakia, SSD Slovenia, NAPSO Serbia delegated to Slovenia, ASEP Switzerland, EPSA International Turkey, and PPSA United Kingdom. I have received 23 voting cards. Please remain seated.